Bradley steal a car to avoid talking to Savannah? Will Joey be too rigid for Michael? And will Brian be too rigid to get out of the car? To answer this, allow me to take you back to the beginning. Hello and welcome to Lawd Lukan. It's time to jump to the left and take 2 massive steps backwards as we break out the gold speedos for another episode of Love After Lockup. On today's show, Brooklyn's testing out her new horn. Savannah spits some venom.
None of y'all even know why hate each other.
Brooklyn's gonna doop-a-doop-doop-doop-doop.
I feel like he gonna do what it do.
And Brian's all kinds of excited.
So I'm glad to be here.
But, Michael's not. All this and more right here on the Lawd Lukan channel. Ahoy hoy, bonjour capitan and hongi to you. Big loves to those who've subscribed, you beautiful people, and hung fung toilets to the lords and ladies of the Lukan Manor. A wise person once said, freedom is not worth having if it does not include the freedom to make mistakes. And some people say that mistakes are just proof that you're trying. Trying to maneuver around past mistakes today is Brooklyn and Brian. Poor old Brian. He seems to be suffering from a little maneuvering issue of his own. They put up after the drive after not seeing each other for a couple of months. And Brooklyn reaches over for a little kiss. Now, gentlemen in the audience, we might be familiar with the issues of wearing grey joggers when there is some exciting trouser activity going on. And I think Brian is having a whale of a time.
Oh my god. Oh, bro, fix it.
Fix it? What you mean here? Not exactly the best place for a spot of DIY.
You gotta do something. What's wrong?
What do you want to do with it exactly? Well, it could have been worse. There could have been a whole film crew waiting for you to stand up and get out the car. Still, Brooklyn is super sympathetic about it.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, nice one. Cheers then. So, the crew film bulging Brian from the rear, and he carries a little bag over his excited bits. Good job. So, inside, it's time for a delightful tour of her place. I do hope she's cleaned up since the last time we were over there. That was a special mess. Not a sort of Matt Paxton kind of special.
This is where we will be sleeping.
If you can find that bed, that is. I guess the tidying mostly consists of stacking. Sort of mostly. One little mistake and you'll be drowning in a Spanx avalanche. Also, saw this on Facebook. Tee. Anywho, Brooklyn is brewing up a little magic to help them conceive.
Alrighty.
This is gonna help us have our baby.
Well, by judging by the little car issue, I think he's halfway there already. But to explain, here's Professor Brian with his analysis.
It does something.
Good job. Now I could do the whole, why are these people having kids? But I'm still thinking he's not such a bad guy. And I do think he genuinely loves her kid. So I'm going to suspend my little disbelief for now.
But I just know it's supposed to increase the chances of her getting pregnant.
Yeah, sorry, Brian, we're keeping you up. But Brian's got no doubts about his potency and puts his faith in his body.
Hopefully my body do what needs to be done.
Good job he's not trying to use his brain, really, they'd be fucked. So they climb the wooden hill to Bennington, and by morning it's time for some ghetto Blair Witch footage.
Had a good night. Girl was amazing.
There's something very 50 Cent about Big Brain Brian, isn't there? Anyway, we have a beautiful evening of wooing and doing, and in the morning, as the mists of passions are clearing, he lounges in the bed, savouring the unfamiliar taste of freedom and the lingering memories of a good woman doing bad things. And as she approaches you, she whispers those sweet words.
There is something that I did want to bring up about that picture.
Why do some women think that pillow talk consists of the shit you should have done, didn't do, or would have done if you were given half the chance? You was hoping for a coffee, maybe. Perhaps a little something to nibble on for breakfast? A wink wink. But no, you got a cup of who the f*** is this, followed by a side of, huh?
We're gonna sit here and look at it real quick.
Oh good, you kept it. Yeah, lucky me. Nothing would excite me more than just to sit here and be interrogated about some eye candy. Whether or not the relationship between Big Brain and Insta whoever was something to worry about, well, who knows? But I think he was just checking out the grass on the other side. Liked the picture enough to show it off, maybe even told people it was Brooklyn, and didn't have the chance to get rid of it when he was released. In my judgment, I think it's more of a misdemeanor offence in the big book of love law. A bit like getting caught looking at the lingerie section of a JCPenney catalogue. Eye-cheating of the mildest variety. The key to deception or lying is to be able to react quickly enough so you don't cause suspicion.
Do you think the woman in that picture is hot?
Nailed it. Also handy, if you're a partner who isn't totally being straight with your other half, is the ability to recognise when it's a good time to do an impression of your missus nagging you. You know, like out at the bar with the boys, that's a good time to do it. In front of the TV crew on a show she's 100% going to watch.
Yeah, you had that dumb paper in the back of your tablet still.
I like the impression personally, but you got a lot to learn there, young sir. So they prepare for Brian's welcome home party and put out some decorations. Oh look, they do a welcome home Brian sign. Wouldn't think they sell many of those. Zane, Max, Brad, yeah, they all sound like names you'd need a supply of signs for. But Brian, what do Brian celebrate? Retirement? We'll get back to them next week, but next we've got a visit with Joey and Michael. And we pick up just before the delightful song that I treated you with last week. If you missed it, here's a little clip.
Sorry, baby, that doesn't usually happen.
I wasn't feeling it, you know what I mean? And that's scary.
So, Michael is slightly weeded out by his own lack of passion for Joey. And I'm not entirely sure what analogy we're using here.
I don't want to force it, and I can't force it. I'm on top, so it's not gonna work.
Hang on, so did he mean like force it, as in like didn't want to labour the point? Or did he mean force as in, well, you know, I mean, surely he's aware of the double entendre here. But then he doesn't smile afterwards, so I don't know if it was a joke. Were we genuinely having a conversation about how Joey's aperture wasn't wide enough? Well, Michael then shed some light on what might be the issue.
I kind of got a dad vibe from him.
Yes, indeed. I think Joey's pandering and flapping about every detail is a little too much for our Michael.
Kind of a nag and a whiner and a complainer.
So Michael's come up with a super genius plan to get a bit of quiet this afternoon by nicking Joey's phone.
Subconsciously, I may have taken Joey's phone so he couldn't get in touch with me. Oh well.
Okay, that's not exactly a mind-blowing plan. And if you think about it, the genius does sort of disappear a bit. But a plan is only as good as the result. And the result is that Joey's not bothering Michael every 2 seconds. So, you know, maybe it's me that's being stupid.
No vibrators, no. I am mild.
That's one way of saying it, I guess. If these guys were curries, then Michael would be a super hot tandoori. And, you know, Joey'd be like naan bread. Over now to Savannah and Bradley. And these guys are here to give us a lesson in how to turn anything into an argument. Step 1. Set up an element of surprise. Choose an issue no one would have suspected to be a problem.
You set me up a dentist appointment for tomorrow morning at like 8 because the one next month was too far out.
Step 2. Blow it all out of proportion with a touch of sarcasm and chuck in a snarky comment about his family for good measure.
Is Alyssa gonna come get you with her no car?
Didn't think about that one.
Step 3. Now tell him he's being unreasonable by assuming that his partner would have given him a lift anywhere, because it's not like his legs are falling off or something.
You know how far away this dentist is? 45 minutes.
Okay.
Did you expect me to take you?
Hey Savannah, tell me you're tone deaf to your hypocrisy without telling me you're tone deaf to your own hypocrisy.
I feel like Bradley just wants everyone to do everything for him when he wants it done. And we're all just supposed to jump.
But then, Bradley makes the ultimate mistake of calling her on it.
Why am I getting the resistance with you?
Oh dear, everybody down! Someone's about to upset the narcissist.
Little issues that build up and build up and build up, and at the end of the day, none of y'all even know why hate each other.
Ah, yes, rarely is venom spat so sweetly. But on top of that mistake, Bradley goes and loads another one in the shape of him taking a car without permission. But will the call that Savannah makes be to tell the authorities or to call his sister? Will Big Brain Brian's get together stay together? Well, stay tuned to the Lawd Lukan channel for much more. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been a delight to have you. So if you enjoy what I do, then please do like, subscribe, and try one of these delightful offerings. So until we meet again, stay beautiful, love to my 3, and you take care of yourself.
Hit subscribe now.